Right fellas, welcome back to a new video. If you're new here, this is my 1988 Sapphire Cosworth. Hasn't been on the road since about 2014. It hasn't been MOT since 2014. There's a couple of reasons why. I will jump into it and tell you why. But on the last video, it didn't look like that. All the front end was intact. I'd actually just been putting some bits on it. But let's tell you why it's like that, right? First reason, I've just bought an RS500 style fiberglass splitter for the car. The difference between an RS500 splitter is it comes up the side of the bumper and it makes the front of the car look a little bit fatter, whereas a standard Sapphire one is just like a rubber flappy one that goes on the bottom of the bumper. So if I was to put it on, it doesn't cover the bottom of the bumper. Is a bit minging. Can you see all this? It's like scratched, so I'm going to get this painted just like the bottom inch and a half, just so when this goes on it doesn't looks nice. Do you know what I mean? So while we've got the bumper off, what I'm going to do is, you see this black bit here, this is what keeps your bonnet down. It's a bit minging, and while we've got the bumper off, I'm going to take it to work, I'm going to blast it and clean it. Now there's nothing wrong with it, it works absolutely fine, does its job, but while we've got the bumper off, we might as well make it look nicer. Even though one of life's mottos is, if it's not broke, don't fix it, we're still going to clean it up and just make it look a bit nicer. As you can see, it's not bad, it just could be nicer. And you see it when you pop the bonnet. So like I say, we'll take this cable off, we'll take these bolts off, and we'll take that to work and have it looking a lot nicer. Oh, that was easy. That was it, that's easy. Good start. Couple of 10mm bolts here. Then there's one more 10mm bolt just here. Oh. So there's that off, and I think what I'm also going to do is order some new bolts, because these ones are a bit, I mean, they've seen the best, you know what I mean? They're 30, 34, 35 year old, certainly not in the prime. There's three. I'll just order some new zinc plated ones or something. Maybe even stainless steel. Let's get this to work, give it a blast and a clean. Right, so I took the part to work and I put it in this machine. This is kind of like a giant dishwasher. I'm not allowed to use my dishwasher in the house, so I have to take the parts to work. After about 20 minutes, we'll come back over, open the lid, then we'll dry it off with the airline, just to remove any water before we'll put it back in this sandblaster. The sandblaster is basically, like it says, just blast sand, removes any rust, anything that just takes it back to bare steel, just so we've got a good surface to paint to. Once it's blasted, we'll take it out, clean it down with some thinners, give it a quick coat of some gloss black. Right, so this is the lock for the bonnet that holds the bonnet down. There's also this arm, this attaches. All we need to do is we need to quickly build it back up, put a bit of grease on it, and we'll put it back on the car. See this little bit, this just clips into here. So we'll put this on. That should just click onto there. There we go, that's clicked onto there. We'll take this over the car and we'll put it on. I bought some new bolts to put it on as well, because I don't like to use minging old bolts and rusty bolts. So for the sake of a couple of quid on eBay, you can get some nice stainless steel ones. That's where it goes. Must say it looks a lot nicer than the rusty thing that was on before. So we'll get one of these nice new bolts and we'll put just a tiny little bit of copper slip on, just so if I ever need them off in like 10 years, they're not like rusted on. Then what we'll do is we'll just nip these up a little bit. We're not going fully tight yet because there's a little bracket bit to go on below. Nip that up, just leave it a bit loose. Then we've got this bit to go on. So we'll get another screw with a little bit of copper slip on, and we'll just put that into there. Right, we'll check the bonnet, make sure that works. Right, that was a job well done. Now the reason we can't MOT the car is the brakes don't work. And on my last video I took the brake servo off and figured out the pump's knackered. There's like, this car doesn't have, well, it doesn't actually have a brake servo, it has like an electric motor. The electric motor wasn't motoring. Now I took the motor a bit, cleaned it all up, and we're going to put it back together and see if it works. Fingers crossed I fixed it. So here's a motor, it's in a few bits. There's not that much to a motor when you strip one down. This one had water in it. It was all like green inside the casing. So we're going to build it back up and hopefully it'll work. Right, so this is the armature. We're going to put a bit of grease on here for the bearing at the back. Not too much, but just enough. I mean, I don't know if you need grease on a motor, but let's see, I'm no motor expert. If it doesn't work, I'll figure that out after. Put that there. Here's the casing. Now we've got these little silver bits that help keep it all together. So they clip into there and go like that. Then this is like, this bit here is the armature. That slides into here. Somehow, give us 2 minutes. There we go. And we'll line them up. Then these screws go into there. Like that. Then we'll nip this up. Take the slack up on this side. Spin it around, we'll do this side. Tighten that up. We're already off to a good start because when I took this motor off the car, the end wasn't spinning. So hopefully we can get this, hopefully this will motor now. Let's put 12 volts to it and see what happens. Right, now I know this motor needs 12 volts to operate. So what we're going to do is, we'll put this on the battery. Let's get sketchy and we'll put these one into there. Now let's try it, see if this will spin. Genuinely, I don't know what's going to happen. Do you reckon I fixed it? Jumped. What? I don't know if it's meant to make that noise, mind. It is motoring, but it's made a canny racket. Oh, that end's loose on there. I wonder if there's a bearing gone. See the end here? It's wobbling. So, I don't think we'll be able to use this the way it is, but it is now motoring. So I kind of guess we're halfway there. I'll just take these connectors off the battery, 2 minutes. Right, I'm not going to fit this like that. I'm going to have a quick Google because it feels like there's like a lot of plate in the end here, so I think that's what's making a bzzz. Do you know what I mean? If I zoom in, can you see this end bit? The bit that spins, it's got a little bit of movement. You see? Now obviously a motor isn't meant to do that. I have had a quick Google and there's a company local that refurbishes electric motors. I give them a ring and it sounds like an old fella. So, I mean, if you want someone to fix something, you want an old fella who's been in the game a long time. So, we'll head through and we'll go and see him and give him this. Hopefully he can fix it. Hello, mate. So that old fella said the same as me. He's going to strip the motor down, have a look. It shouldn't be rattling on the end. He's going to give us a ring when he's had time to have a look at it. Right, now as you can see, the bottom of the bumper has been painted. I was going to fit that RS500 style splitter, but thanks to my mate Richie, I've now got a standard Sapphire splitter, so I'm not sure which one I'm going to fit. But next thing we need to do is, this has just been painted, it was rattle canned, it came out quite good actually, but I'm just going to give it a quick polish up with some G3, just to get rid of some of the overspray and just make it look a bit better. So let's get the drill out and we'll crack on. Right, so we've got some G3 here, the lid's a bit knackered, so you've got to use a screwdriver to open it. Then we'll put a little bit on this pad, couple of little dots, just like that. Put one on there, like that. G3 to bump it down, it's looking a lot better. So what we want to do now is, we're just going to build it all back up and get it looking like a Sapphire Cosworth again. Now the front end is almost complete, but you see the grille's missing. Here is the grill, right? I'm still not sure what split I'm going to put on, but here is the grill. Now when I've took the brake servo off, it's got a little bit of brake fluid on the grill, and it's knocked the paint up. Can you see there? Obviously I can't put it back on the car like this, and I've got some paint off the bumper, so I'm going to have a go paint it myself, and if it turns out crap, then I'll get someone to do it properly. But we'll just take this to bits, take the black, see the black, and the badge and that comes out. You just undo these little clips. See, like here, these clips, they just pop out, and there's some on the back. There we go. So that's the black bit away from the white bit. So we're going to paint this, we're going to go and sit in the sun there and give this a good rub down.
She's riding shotgun and she looks like a star. Yeah, she's got the style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She says she likes it better when we go off-road.
Right fellas, you've got to work with what you've got. So this is my paint booth. I've cleaned it down, I've cleaned the grill down. We're going to give it a good coat of some diamond white. If it turns out crap, like I say, we'll take it to a proper painter. But for now, this is what we're doing. Light coating for the first coat, then we'll give it a thicker coat after. Now obviously this is an old car, it's F-Reg, been painted, it's had a full paint job at some point, but one thing that's always bugged us is when they've painted it, they haven't masked off in these wheel arches and it's all white inside. So I'm going to take these wheel arches out while that coat dries on the grill, and we'll give these a good clean. If I can't clean the paint off, then we'll give them a coat of some matte black, put them back in and it'll look a lot better. I'll zoom in, I'll show you what I mean. If you look in there, can you see all that? That's overspray on the wheel arch. So we'll take them out, hopefully not break them. Obviously they go brittle over time, they're known for breaking. So we'll take them out, give them a clean, hopefully not break them, put them back in. Right fellas, we've got the wheel arch out. We're going to clean it, right? We're going to clean it with a hose pipe, some Scotch Brite fairy liquid. Never done this before, we'll see how it comes up. If it doesn't come up, we'll just paint them. First things first, we'll give it a wash down.
I got the sun in my eyes. It can't get better than when she makes that smile. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She's turning up the volume on the radio.
I found the best thing to use is a wire brush with a drill on the end. And if you keep it wet, it stops the plastic melting. Let's refit this. It came out quite well, I must say. I'm quite pleased with how it's turned out. I must say this looks a lot better than when they were like all painted and minging. So we'll put these clips on. These are just like plastic clips. You get a little flathead screwdriver just to turn them into place. Doesn't that look a lot better? Now you might be thinking, Adam, are you going to leave them knackered old rusty shock absorbers on? Right, well, I am for the time being. I haven't decided what I'm doing. I don't know whether to go with coilovers or replace them with some more like Coney or Bilstein type shock over spring type things. So for now, those minging old rusty shockers are staying, but I will be replacing them in the future. I just don't know what with yet. I'm going to do the other 3 arches and I'll catch up with you when I've done them. Right fellas, them arches have came up mint. Next thing, right, I painted this. It came out a lot better than I would have expected for a job done by me with a rattle can. What we're going to do next is we're going to build this back up like the grill. But what I'm going to do first is I've got the grill here. I'm going to polish up that forward badge with some G3 because it's a bit scratched and old, and I mean it's 30 odd year old. Do you know what I mean? So it's definitely seen better days. So we'll get me drill. We'll put a little bit G3 on and we'll just give it a little buff up. There we go, just a little bit. I'm gonna put this coat on to save getting stuff all over my t-shirt. This is like my garage coat, because it's going to spray in it when I spin this. Right, start off slow. That looks absolutely spot on. That looks loads better. Absolute loads better. Nice and smooth. So we'll put all this back together. That goes into there, like that. And that clicks onto there, like that. There we go, fellas. As you can see, we've got rid of the mark where the brake acid had leaked. And that looks a lot better than it did. Let's get this back on.
It can get better than when she makes that smile. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She's turning up the volume on the radio.
How mint does that look, fellas? Now it's back together. That's it, fellas. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found something useful, or it just kept you entertained while you're sitting on the toilet. Thanks again for all the support, all the comments. Honestly, I really appreciate it. And until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.